Welcome back. Going to continue our flights today with Vintage Air Virtual, flying the DC-3 in the Hawaiian Airlines livery with the Duckworth's mod, castering tail wheel, icing improvements, etc. So we are flying from Honolulu over to Hilo International today, about 188 miles, so it's a little bit longer than some of the other flights. So we will go ahead and take a look at our setup here. So here is our flight. It is Hawaiian Airlines flight number 2. We've got about 1,800 pounds of fuel, 3,500 pounds of payload. We'll be flying over at 9,000 feet. Nothing too out of the ordinary. And I think the weather will be cooperating just fine for us. Sounds like somebody taxiing up. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a few things loaded up here. First is our Navigraph chart. Japan Airlines going out. So here's our flight out of Honolulu to the southeast, down here to Hawaii. And we're up here next to the fire station. I'm hoping we get an 8 left departure, make it simple, but we will see. We also, as always, use our JD's checklist. Just about any airplane you can think of is in there. This one happens to be made for the Douglas DC-3 with the Duckworth mod. I think there might be a couple of things that are missing out of there, but for the most part, it is an excellent job on that. And then lastly, we will pull up our brief, get our sim brief pulled up here and get all our particulars. Realistically, we're looking at our fuel. So we will pull up our aircraft information. And it says 2,400 pounds of fuel. We'll actually adjust that down to just about 1,800 pounds, give or take. It's a little bit funky. I got to do it a few times. That's pretty close. We'll go with that. And for the cargo, we have about 34 and change. We'll call it that. Okay, that gives us what we need in the airplane. And we are going to listen to our ATIS here.
Mashin Papa. Daniel K. Inouye International Airport, Information Papa. 2053 Zulu. Wind 350 at 5. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, view at 2400 feet. Scattered at 4000 feet. Scattered at 4900 feet. Temperature 29er. Dew point 18. Altimeter 3011. Density altitude 1500 feet. Arriving and departing runways 8 left, 8 right, 4 left, 8. Advise on initial contact, you have information PAPA.
Okay, information PAPA is current. All right, let's go ahead and get ready here. So looking for all the switches off. Tail wheel is locked. Trim is going to be in neutral. Trim's in neutral. Autopilot is off. Cross feeds are off. Cowl flaps are going to off. Gear is down and locked, flaps are in the right place, hydraulic reservoir is full, and pump selection is aft. Alright, before engine start, checklist now. Looks like we got a few airplanes are going to taxi out in front of us, so let's go ahead and get the doors closed. Let's go ahead and get the chocks released. Sure we still have, yep, we do. Okay, so hydraulic valve is coming open. So that's this one here, and about 6 pumps. Close that valve. We can see we've got hydraulic pressure coming up, and we're going to get the access door open for our fire extinguishers. And cowl flaps are going to come open. Flight controls are good. Carb heat is cold and locked. Blowers are aft. The propellers are full forward. Throttles are back at idle, and mixture is at idle cutoff. Battery have on the cart. We're going to put the position lights on. We don't need any interior lights. We're going to put the fuel on mains. And we are good for engine start. So engine start, we're going to go beacon. Going to put the mag on. We're going to put the right booster pump on. We're going to crack the right, and we are going to go to auto lean. We are going to energize the right side. And we're going to mesh the right side. Wait for about 10 to 12 rotations. engine start. Get the RPMs up to 1,000. Looks pretty good there. Temperature starting to come up, and cylinder head temperature starting to come up. Pump is off. Left pump is on. Energize the left side. And mesh the left side. Left side started. And left side at about 1,000 RPMs as well. Light is off. And these temperatures will start coming up. Booster pump coming off. Get everything warmed up here. Okay, so we've got all the doors and chocks off. We're going to battery power in the aircraft. That's coming off. The generators are both going to come to reset and then on. And avionics coming on. Radios coming on. Uncage. Uncage. Okay, mixture back to auto lean. Confirm booster pumps are off. Energize and meshes. Return to neutral. Alright, so let's go ahead and contact clearance delivery and get our clearance. Clearance Douglas 3670, excuse me, 3607, requesting IFR clearance to Hilo. So we'll wait for that.
Douglas 607, cleared to Hilo. Radar vectors Coco head. Venice filed. Climb and maintain 4,000. Expect 9,010 minutes after departure. Departure on 124.8 squawk 3521. Expect runway 4 left.
Okay, Douglas 607, we are clear to Charlie Kilo Hotel, then is filed, climb, maintain 4,000, expect 9,000. 10 minutes after departure, departure on 124.8, squawking 3521, and we'll expect runway 4 left for Douglas 607.
Douglas 607, read back correct. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Going to ground, have a great day. Okay, we're over to ground, and we're getting a 4 left departure, which is right here. So I'm going to go ahead and see if ground will give us an 8 left departure, and that way we can just get out of here. Make a right-hand turn, take an intersection J departure, get out of here. Honolulu ground, Douglas 607. We're ready to taxi with our IFR clearance and information PAPA. And if we could get a request and have a departure on runway 8 left at Juliet intersection.
Douglas 607, Honolulu ground, taxi to runway 8 left via Alpha, Zulu Delta, cross runway 26 right, then Foxtrot, contact tower on 118.1 when ready for departure.
Okay, ground will taxi to 8 left, and we'll contact tower on 118.1 when we're ready to go. Douglas 607. All right, so basically, we're going to come out here on Alpha to Juliet, and we're just going to hold here and then do an 8 left. Where we can see where we're going. Okay, so we need to go ahead and get the tail wheel off, parking brake off. Follow out this Delta. Again, in the DC-3, our steering is brakes and differential power, so you'll hear the brakes squealing at us every now and again as we're using those to make our turn along with differential power. Switching over to tower. One 8.1. So we're going to hold short here and go to 118.1. And then
Alaska 877, give way to the All Nippon A380 on your right.
We're going to
Give way to the All Nippon A380, Alaska 877.
Get in. Okay. Pull it forward here. Made some adjustments on the graphics settings, see if we get a little bit better looking scenery. Can't wait to see if system update number 3 helps resolve some of this VRAM issue, because I'm pretty much maxed out at about 10 on my card, and every once in a while we'll get that pop up about the GPU settings, hoping that we can get that solved in system update number 3 so we can have a little bit better quality here. And tower Douglas 607, we're holding short at intersection Juliet at 8 left, ready for departure.
Douglas 607, Honolulu Tower, runway 8 left, winds 140 at 12. Fly runway heading, cleared for takeoff.
Fly runway heading, clear for takeoff, 8 left, Douglas 607. Confirm, tail wheel is locked, and we are good to go. We are taking off runway heading, and we are basically going to fly to this VOR on 13.9. So 13.9, get 13.9 tuned in, and it should be okay, about 95 degrees. Okay, so we are ready to go. Power coming up. Everything looks good. center line straight. 60 miles an hour, dancing on the rudders, up to 80. Up to 90, coming up. Positive rate. Gears coming up. And Amanda, I'm going to hand comms over to you.
I'll take over the comms, Scott.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get our autopilot set up and ready to go here. First of all, we need to get this thing aligned. Okay.
Douglas 607, contact departure on 124.8.
Switching to departure on 124.8, Douglas 607. HCSAT departure, Douglas 607, afternoon, climbing past 1,000.
Douglas 607, HCF departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 9,000. Turn right heading 115, vectors to Cocoa Head, then own navigation.
Climb and maintain 9,000. Right heading 115 for vectors to CKH, then own navigation. Douglas 607.
let's stop this for a minute. And let's go ahead and get out to this VOR, which is about 100 degrees. There with the autopilot, so let's get this thing turned over this direction. Getting after 40 still. Alright, we need to get our carb heat back on now as we're climbing out.
Douglas 607, can you please expedite your climb to 9,000 feet?
Expediting climb to 9,000 feet. Douglas 607.
Okay, are we going in the right direction now or not?
Douglas 607, contact Marine Kaneohe approach on 125.0.
Switching to Marine Kaneohe approach on 125.0. Douglas 607.
Okay, got our pumps off, we got everything else ready to go. We are in trail.
Marine Kaneohe departure, Douglas 607. Good afternoon, passing
throttle.
6,000, climbing to 9,000.
Douglas 607, Marine Kaneohe departure. Good afternoon, altimeter 30.07.
Alright, let's see if we just happen to be going in the right damn direction now. And we are not. So as you can see, we are flying in the wrong direction because this compass card is not aligned. And that is a problem. Because we are 180 degrees out. So let's try this again. Something is like tremendously messed up here. Alright, we're just gonna stop this mess. We're gonna turn left. The autopilot is not working for some reason. Just pick up this VOR 112.3. Let's go there. Still on our left turn. Should be heading just about due east. Out there, we want to be going 12. So we're going to go 12. Put there. Alright, well that was weird as hell, but I think we are in a little bit better position now. I think. We're going to the VOR, it's pointed at about 11, we're pointed at about 11, we're about 11, it's pretty close. We're still trying to get up to 9,000. Okay, so we're still coming up to 9,000. As soon as we get up to 9,000, we'll pull everything back. Almost there. And our temperature's a little high on the oil. Pretty good there, so as soon as we get this thing pulled back, we'll be all right. Get this pulled back to 30. Get these guys pulled back to 20. Get these pulled back to auto lean. Go ahead and get us onto the aux tanks.
Douglas 607, Marine Kennelly departure, contact HCF approach on 124.8.
Switching to HCF approach on 124.8, Douglas 607. HCF departure, Douglas 607 afternoon, maintaining 9,000 feet.
Douglas 607, HCF departure, good afternoon, altimeter 30.07.
Okay, 3007. Close. Just gonna pop these lights on a little bit. I think we'll need them. Alright, how are we doing? We're at 9,000, we're pretty close to 9,000. Looks like everything's good to go here. That's not on the checklist, that's why I always forget it. Our temperatures are coming down to the green. We're in the green. We're in the green. We got power. I think we're good to go. And it looks like we're in between layers here. Alright, so now let's take a look and see where we're at. We'll turn this off and bring it back on, see if we can get some map here. There we go. Okay, so we are headed out to up. We are at about 11. I think we can come to the right.
Douglas 607, HCF departure, contact Marine Kaneohe, approach on 125.0.
Switching to Marine Kaneohe approach on 125.0. Douglas 607.
Oh, climb a little bit. Okay, we're cruising along here now. So we are cruising along at about 144 knots ground speed, about 9,200 feet according to this, and looks like we're about an hour 7 out according to that. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look here. Why are we still climbing? Bit.
Today, Rhino 001, 5,700 feet, climbing to 9,000 feet.
Ryanair 001 Super, Marine Kaneohe departure. Good afternoon, Kaneohe altimeter 30.06.
Okay, so she's chasing it a little bit.
3006, Rhino 001.
Ryanair 001 Super, climb and maintain 12,000.
Outside, coastline down there. Beautiful texture on this Hawaiian Airlines skin. Looks great. Okay, quit messing with me, just get lined up. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Okay. We're about 9,000. We now are headed towards the... Alright, let's take a quick look here. We're at about 11. We're at about 11. I think everything's finally lined up. That was crazy. We are on the ox tanks. At the moment, we are in green. Everything's looking good. Parched. All right. We are here. Going up, so then we'll go to this VOR, which will be 116.9. So let's just go ahead and get 116.9 programmed up here. We can get 116.9 already in here. Let's see if we can pick it up yet. Doesn't look like it. About 9,000. Okay, we are going into Hilo, which is way over here. I don't think we're going to be able to pick up that frequency yet. Let's see what we got. ATIS at 126.4. Let's get 126.4 in here.
Hawaiian 451 contact HCF Center on 126.5.
Over to HCF Center on 126.5, initiate Hawaiian 451.
Alright, let's see. Can we listen to two at the same time? Yes, we can. So let's see if... Not quite. cruising along here. Still climbing a little bit, so let's get her down. Amanda, how's it going today?
It's going well, Scott. Let's keep focused on the flight.
Roger that. Boy, sounds like she's been...
Roger that, Scott.
I think I might need to get me a new co-pilot. She seems to be a little bit tight.
Yes, we're still on Marine Kaneohe approach, frequency 125.0. It's a quiet day, Scott. We're still on Marine Kaneohe approach, frequency 125.0.
Alaska 816, contact Seattle Center on 124.2.
Over to Seattle Center on 124.2, the Alaska 816.
Well, here this whole time I'm having a conversation with myself and the microphone's turned off, so boy, having a great time of it today. You probably missed, I forgot to start the ACAR, so not going to get credit for the flight on the website, not the end of the world. We're just going to keep flying. We're about 35 minutes out, I guess. We're headed towards the VOR now. We're holding 9,000 feet. So we're just going to keep cruising along and let it go. Amanda's got the comms for us today. Our co-pilot is part of Say Intentions. Say Intentions is a great add-on for ATC. Really good for current real-world type operations because it uses real-world weather. It uses real-world traffic. So makes the immersion excellent. Certainly one of the better, if not the best, ATC program out there. It is all voice commands. There's no pushing a button to pick something from a menu like the built-in one or some of the other ATC options out there. So you have to call in and ask. So that's kind of cool. Okay, still cruising along. Still at about 9,000 feet. Everything looks good. I don't think we've got much going on yet. Starting to get back into some clouds. See where we're at. Still coming up on the VOR. Turn now that we're pretty much back on track. Let's see, we're about 70 miles or so out, give or take. Okay, still coming up here on the VOR. And again, for those that are unaware, we do not have a DME in this aircraft, so basically have to position, get position from VORs and cross-reference what radio you're on to kind of get an idea of where you're at. Since we don't have a sectional and we can't sit down there and pull that on our lap and do that, we kind of pretend a little bit and we use this. Now certainly if we turned flight tracking off here, we'd be able to tell where we were, so we could pull radials from, say here, this VOR at great, no, lost the map again, so whatever that one was, we could get a reading. But we lost our map, so we'll have to pull it back in again. Hopefully it'll come back on. So this VOR down here, which is 112.1. So if we were to come into the aircraft here and go 112.1, we can come down here and see we are on the just about north radial. So that puts us about right. Here's the 0 radio right here, puts us about right here, and then we're on this track, so it gives, give or take, puts us about right here. So if we turn this on, there it is, so 0 puts us pretty close. And as soon as we cross over this VOR, we're going to switch over here to this VOR and track inbound. So we can switch back here. That puts us back on this guy. And you can see it's just off just a tad from where we're at. And that is 116.9. So as soon as we start getting closer here, we'll go ahead and switch to the other VOR, because we are getting closer. You can see we're starting to make a lot more corrections. So coming over the VOR here pretty soon, taking a left turn, slight left turn to the other VOR. As you can see, we're starting to get closer, and then this will turn around. So we'll just keep on this heading for a minute. When it switches, then we'll come up here and switch our VOR source. See it starting to turn now. You can see that starting to go out that way. as you can see, it's really pulling away pretty fast now. So we're going to go ahead and switch to the other VOR. So now we're going to be tracking into that VOR. And we need to be heading, need to be making a left-hand turn, so we need to be coming over this way. Go. So we got ourselves about 50 miles or so. Looks like we got just a tad too far. Okay, so we're still cruising along pretty good. Still at 9,000. Everything's looking good. Oil temperatures are good. Cylinder heads are good. And carb air temperature is good. We're still roughly 10 to 15 degrees Celsius outside. So we're good to go. You can see we're going to be descending through these clouds. So see, here we are now, coming here, it's at 55 miles, so give or take 50 miles. So we'll start our slow descent down, coming down this way. So I'm going to ask Amanda to see if we can start getting a lazy descent in. Amanda, can you request descent to lower altitude, please?
Requesting lower altitude now, Scott.
Hawaiian Airlines Flight 2 requesting a descent to a lower altitude.
Douglas 607, descend and maintain 4,000 feet, altimeter 30.22.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet, altimeter 3022, Douglas 607.
Douglas 607, descent coming up in about 5 minutes. Notify if you're ready to descend before that. Expect the visual runway 8 approach into helo.
Expecting the visual runway 8 approach into helo. We'll notify if ready to descend before 5 minutes. Douglas 607.
Alright, here we are descending through 8,000. Slowly. We're going down to 4. I think we probably need to bump it down a little bit faster. And Amanda, did you get a new altimeter setting yet?
I'll request the updated altimeter setting from approach.
Thank you.
Marine Kaneohe approach,
You're
Douglas
welcome, Scott.
607, requesting the latest altimeter setting.
Douglas 607, altimeter 30.29er. Douglas 607, contact HCF center approach on 119.7.
Switching to HF center approach on 119.7, Douglas 607. HCF center approach, Douglas 607 afternoon, descending through 7,000.
Douglas 607, HCF center approach, good afternoon, altimeter 30.3.
Alright, so we're descending here to 4,500. Sure looks like we're awfully down low. And we're still descending, so we're going to go ahead and start coming up now. I think we were supposed to descend to 4,000. They gave us the last time, so we're we're going to be pretty damn low at 4,000. Amanda, are we supposed to be at 4,000?
I'll confirm our altitude assignment with ATC.
HCF Center approach, Douglas 607. Please confirm our altitude assignment. Should we be maintaining 4,000 feet?
607, affirmative, maintain 4,000 feet.
Maintaining 4,000 feet, Douglas 607.
Jeez. Pretty damn low for 4,000 feet. I think I like this. I think I'm going to level off here a little bit because I think we're way too low, Mr. ATC. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna come up over this ridge line here. And looks like we're probably still 25 miles out. I don't like us descending, so we're gonna go ahead and bump up a bit. Otherwise, we're gonna run right into these damn trees. So let's go ahead and just fuel up a little bit. Just go ahead and get up. Get over this ridge line. Okay, so while we're doing this, we're going to go ahead and switch back to the main tanks. We're going to get ready for our arrival. Main tanks. Main tanks. We're going to go ahead and get rid of the carb heat now. We don't need that. We're back on the mains. We're good to go there. We're coming up over this ridge line. Back down a little bit. All right, so we're going to come down here and confirm our checklist. I don't know what our arrival is. A visual to 8, I guess, is what we're going to get. Okay, so we're on the main tanks. We're on auto rich. We're on cold. The blowers are low. We're going to switch over to aft in a minute. We're going to get our lights on, fuel boosters on, tail wheel is locked. So let's just go ahead and get everything ready to go. Boosters are on, and we're ready to land.
Douglas 607, turn right heading 170 vectors for the visual runway 8 approach.
Right heading 170 for vectors for the visual runway 8 approach. Douglas 607. Alright, turn 170, so we're coming down this way.
That's just stupid. Should have came out over the ocean, but okay, we'll do what you want. So airport's over here. And we're going to be landing on 8, which is here, so I'm not exactly sure what the hell he's vectoring us for. I see what you're doing, coming in like this. Okay.
Douglas 607, 8 miles from the approach turn. Turn left heading 125, descend and maintain 3000 until established. Cleared for the visual runway 8 approach.
Left heading 125. Descend and maintain 3000 until established. Cleared for the visual runway 8 approach. Douglas 607.
Over there. Yep. Airport's down here, so we're going to pull the power back. We're going to get the gear down. And we'll go props full. And mixture is rich. Coming with a notch of flaps. Tower Douglas 607, we have the airport site.
Douglas 607, contact high-low tower on 118.1.
Going to tower 118.1. Douglas 607.
Douglas 607, cleared for the visual approach to runway 8 at PHTO. Contact high-low tower on 118.1.
And high-low tower, Douglas 607, we're on the visual runway 8. Douglas 607.
Douglas 607, high-low tower, wind 090 at 10, gusting 18, runway 8, clear to land.
And we're clear to land for Douglas 607. Okay. And we dropped our mouse. That's not good. Sorry about that. And we are runway in sight. We were just checking to make sure everything is good. Everything's good. It's good. Everything's in the green. Temperature's coming up a bit. So we come around. We're going to drop a little larger flaps here. Help us get it slowed down and down. Flaps, gears down, flaps down, lane tanks, auto rich, we're ready for landing, still need to get down. knots, 100 miles an hour. We're aligned, everything's good. Start flipping the power back a little bit.
Douglas 607, welcome to Hilo. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Going to ground for Douglas 607. Yeah, ground Douglas 607.
Hilo ground, taxi to runway 8 left via Echo, Juliet intersection. Contact tower on 118.1 when ready for departure.
And ground negative, we just landed. We're taxiing the parking for Douglas 607.
Douglas 607, taxi to parking by Echo Juliet and Foxtrot.
Just taxi over here. And Douglas 607, we're going to taxi to parking right over here to our right with these errors. Holy smokes, we're all over the place. I don't know. I think they keep us too high. You know, that time coming over the mountains at 4,000, we were going to scrape the trees if we went to 4,000, so we had to stay high on our own. Then once we came over the top, then we were too high because we weren't down at 4,000. So unfortunate, but we found a way to get in, and we'll call that a day. Okay, we made it down. Wasn't very pretty, but we made it. We're gonna get our brakes on, and we're gonna go ahead and get this engine shut down. Beacon off, get the battery cart back up there. Come on now. Avionics off, battery cart. We don't need that chat. And we can get everything opened up here. And we made it to Hilo. Well, like I said, I didn't get the A car started, so gonna have to fly this one again anyway. So with that, we will call this one a day and look forward to our next flight with Vintage Virtual Air. Have a great night.